Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
June 16, 2020, the Al Jaffe Retires edition. First up, from the Wall Street Journal, the U.S. Supreme Court today released its opinion upholding the rights of gays and transgenders in the workplace under Title VII of the EEOC Act. The court, in a 6-3 decision, said the broad language of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 outlaws workplace discrimination on the basis of sex should be read to cover sexual orientation as well. Conservative Neil Gorsuch wrote the opinion, which was joined by Chief Justice Roberts in addition to the 4 liberal members of the court. It noted that any employee who fires an individual merely for being gay or transgender defies the law. So, big win for the LGBT community in the U.S. Supreme Court. Next up, in a fairly horrific report, 6 eBay employees, including a former police captain, last summer harassed and cyber-stalked a Massachusetts husband and wife team that published a newsletter critical of the online retailer. They did so by sending fly larvae, live spiders, and a bloody pig mask to their home and traveling directly to Massachusetts to not only surveil but harass the couple in an effort to get them to stop publishing. According to court records, which were unsealed, unnamed company executives took aim specifically on the wife in a text message, and the plan was apparently well known throughout eBay. eBay, of course, denied it knew anything about it and also announced it had launched a comprehensive investigation of the matter with outside counsel once law enforcement officials informed him of the alleged harassment back in August 2019, and the board is involved. The prosecutors identified 6 individuals. Their lawyers declined comment, and it is a very serious charge. It's hard to believe that this was not well known within the company, but at least the 6 who did the harassment and cyber-stalking have been brought to task for their alleged actions. Next up, we have yet another data privacy bill, which is stymied in the U.S. Senate by the GOP. As authorities and companies explore surveillance tools to fight coronavirus and reopen the U.S. economy, many federal lawmakers feel that privacy protections are key, but the GOP insists on a standard which would undercut not only the state protections, but the leading edge of protections brought by California and other states. Unfortunately, this does not allow the United States to have any leadership in this area, as GDPR is by far the most robust data privacy and data protection law. And without U.S. federal law, companies will still have to work on laws of multiple states and, of course, the GDPR. We can only hope that Congress will come to its senses, but with the GOP demanding company protection instead of worker protection, it's doubtful that we'll ever see anything come to pass, certainly from this Congress. And finally, our lead story is Al Jaffe is retiring. The longtime Mad Magazine illustrator is having a full issue dedicated to him. If you're a lover of Mad Magazine, as I am, I know you will enjoy it, so check it out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Daily Compliance News, and I hope you'll join us again for another report. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.